So, you want to play Vanguardknights? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just clicked on this video because you thought it was a relatively interesting topic. That's cool. I respect that. Anyways, here's an introduction to Vanguardknights from a Vanguardknights player. Alright, Siege, since you're getting a promotion, that also means you get more benefits, including a higher pay. You're gonna spend it on more lollipops? I guess that's not too bad. You seem to really enjoy candy, huh? How do you go through that many in a day? What makes Vanguardknights cooler than all the other classes? Well, from personal experience, the difficulty is just that right amount. You have a good amount of burst options, but nothing too broken. There are decent crowd control options like Siege's and Tex's stun, Psylocke's sluggish, and Elysium's movement speed reduction. You have some tanking options with Granny and Beanstalk, but no one's straight up directly taking frost bolts to the face. The thing that limits you from making maps a cakewalk is range. All Vanguards, with the exception of Tacticians, only have a single tile in front of them to work with, so you can't just slap down a bunch of ops and delete enemies from across the map. Personally, I love burst strategies way more than stall strats, and Vanguardknights burst can get pretty crazy, but the setup required to get that damage in is the actual challenge compared to just placing Silver Ash or Shelter down and pressing their skill buttons. Another big benefit to Vanguardknights is that most of the operators in some way synergize with each other, meaning as you're building your squad up, it gets more and more powerful just from the other Vanguards existing. For example, you have Bagpipe giving everyone more initial SP, right? But then you also have Granny giving everyone dodge, Siege giving everyone more extra attack and defense, Saga being an SP battery, Zima making everyone's stats crazy, Myrtle letting all your ops regenerate HP, and so on. By stacking all these buffs together, you can get some insane damage, tanking, and healing all at the same time. Since all your ops are Vanguards, DP is also not an issue at all unless you're deploying 4 or 5 operators at once. Compared to the other class knights like Defender Knights or Caster Knights with super high cost operators, Vanguards are cheap and generate DP, so you should have no problem opening in a stage. It's not surprising that this was the only class that max risked CC7, since Vanguards are the only class that can survive DP down 3. The main potentials that matter in Vanguardknights are Bagpipe's infamous pot 5 and redeployment pots. Redeployment pots especially can make or break a high-end run, purely because you're going to be doing a lot of hella dropping with a Vanguardknights comp. If you're a super god gamer going for records, RNG will be the death of you because there's lots of it. Saga talent dodge, Bagpipe crit, FLAMETAIL dodge, Granny dodge, Siege stun. All of these things can massively impact your run, so have fun retrying stages over and over again because FLAMETAIL missed an 80% chance. Another thing to note about Vanguardknights is that levels are very significant. The reason for this is because you're going to be doing a lot of buffing and debuffing on top of attack scale skills, so that small 10 or 11 attack you get from levels can be the difference between killing Patriot and crying yourself to sleep that night. But the most important factor in trying to get into class knights is drones. Drones and aerial enemies in general are the bane of existence for mainly Defender Knights and Medic Knights, but Vanguardknights surprisingly does pretty okay against them, even if it is a bit of a struggle. You just have to rotate Tex's, Kiave, Psylocke, and FLAMETAIL skills, which actually isn't too bad. You also have Beanstalk and Black Knight to take care of the lower defense drones, so Vanguardknights is okay in this department. Congratulations, Bagpipe. You're promoted to Elite 2. What are you gonna do with the increase in salary? Upgrade your gaming setup? You lost to Colossus Gaming in Minecraft PvP because of your monitor latency? Honestly, that sounds more like a skill issue. First off, we have the Queen of Vanguards, Bagpipe. Well known for her initial SP talent, Bagpipe is hands down the most important operator you need for Vanguardknights. She gets super high defense and attack with her S3 active, meaning she can actually deal the damage and take the damage at the same time. And with the cripple hit crit talent, she has one of the highest physical skill DPSs in the game, so it's not surprising that Bagpipe is the go-to tough enemy deleter. Next up, you have Zima, who actually seems like she doesn't do much in many clears. She kind of just hangs out in the back, but there's good reason for this. Her first talent decreases all Vanguard's cost, which is nice because it's coincidentally your entire squad. Even though it doesn't look like she does a lot, you have to take a look at that S2, which buffs all Vanguard's attack and defense by 60%. This skill basically gives your entire squad steroids for 10 seconds. Slap it onto DPS ops like Bagpipe, Saga, FLAMETAIL, or Siege, and you'll be cranking out big numbers. The buff doesn't work on Tactician Vanguard summons, so Beanstalk's Crabs and Black Knight's Hypnos won't benefit from it sadly. Zima doesn't have the DPS herself to kill enemies coming at her, so she's usually placed in the back of a setup to stay alive so the other ops can do their work. You'd think Saga S3 would be used because duration skills are often used over burst skills in high-end gameplay, but that's actually not the case for a lot of clears. The sole reason for this is Zima. Saga and Zima are the ultimate duo. Because Saga's skill 2 is a 400% attack scale, she turns Zima's 60% extra attack into 240%. So basically, when you activate Saga's S2 while Zima's buff is active, you're getting 640% physical damage per proc. This number soars way past any defense, letting you burst down even heavy defender type enemies. Remember, this is also a stackable multi-target skill, so you can unleash hell on any enemies you don't like. Debuffers like Elysium and Psylocke make the burst dream possible. All your burst ops in Vanguardknights deal physical damage, so you'd think high defense would be trouble, but because of Elysium's 35% defense debuff, Vanguardknights manages against even Phase 1 Patriot just fine. Psylocke has basically the same usage as Elysium, except she magically turns your amounts of damage into crazy amounts of damage. Both operators come with forms of crowd control, which can be lifesavers in certain situations. Psylocke's debuff uptime also conveniently is the same duration as Zima's, so their skills are usually procced together to delete anything from existence. Myrtle is your only source of healing in Vanguardknights, and her talent is extremely important for this, giving all your ops passive regen, which means a lot over time. Her S2 lets her heal operators in the 8 surrounding tiles per second, which is cool and all, but the range sucks, especially since all your other operators have a single tile ahead of them, so most of the time you're going to have to plan your setup around Myrtle. The skill also only lasts 15 seconds with a downtime of 24 seconds, meaning you're going to have to time it well because otherwise your Vanguards are going to get cheesed in that downtime. The way Vanguardknights deals with any high damage is usually either Granny or Beanstalk. Granny's skills dramatically increase her defense, turning her into a low block pseudo defender. She also gives all Vanguards 20% physical dodge, which can help a lot with survivability when you're under a lot of pressure. Beanstalk is great at dealing with ranged enemies with her metal crabs acting as bait. Her S1 and 2 cycle reasonably well, and the crabs have a decent amount of HP and defense, so you can let them take the hits rather than your more important operators. Because the crabs can become unblockable, they're a great way for split boxing enemies into range. Some special mentions would be Siege S3, which has a pretty high attack scale, letting her scale with Zima on top of being instantly hella droppable with Bagpipe's talent. FLAMETAIL S3 is also a great pseudo AoE guard skill with survivability in the form of dodge. Her short skill cycles may seem like a bad thing, but it lets you rotate her skills for when there's constant waves of higher pressure on the map. If you're actually interested in Vanguardknights or just want to see the cream of the crop in terms of high-end gameplay, then you should check out some clears I'll link in the description. I don't really want to analyze them in this video because I wouldn't be able to explain all the butt-clenching timings and the super big brain ideas they have, so I highly recommend to watch them on your own time. Alright Saga, you're getting a Wait, why is Zima here? You're her translator? How does that even work? Don't you have to be like a pedo like Kyobe or something in order to understand her? Alright, well, can you just tell her we're giving her a promotion? She wants more food? We already serve free meals in the cafeteria to all operators. A giant fork? Oh no. She knows.